let us begin. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. Today I thought it would be really cool to do a video on my most recent trip to El Salvador. I just went last week, and although I didn't vlog it, I wish I would have, but I just had no storage on my phone. So I have a lot of pictures, so in this video I will insert pictures and explain them. I did film a video for you guys last week, and I was going to have it up the Friday I was in El Salvador. I was actually editing the video before I left, which was July 20th, I believe. I was editing it, but I did not like the footage at all. I was just very drained because I had already filmed a video that day. I could just tell that my mood wasn't as hype or as energetic as I usually like to be in my videos. So that's why a video did not go up last week. I didn't leave you guys hanging. I did remember, and I did film. I did plan ahead, but I just didn't like the footage, so that's why a video did not go up last week. Before I start with the video, I thought I would share with you guys how I got started doing mission trips in the first place. I actually remember the exact date whenever I felt a calling towards missions, like a very strong burden for people who have not heard the gospel, and for especially kids who are orphaned and don't have parents. Like, let's say they don't have a mother, don't have a father, they died, they just can't be with their family, etc. And I remember the exact date. I was watching a video of this girl. Her name is Katie Davis Majors. She, at a young age, went to Uganda, and then she went back home to the States, and then she just could not stop thinking about it, and she just knew that she had to go back and make that place her home. And I was actually watching one of her videos, and I'll never forget that day. I was forever touched by that day, and it was for that first time I realized just actually what we're supposed to do on this earth. And it's just, it doesn't matter about your career, it doesn't matter about your money, it matters about who you are and what you do on this earth to help others in need. And that's one of the reasons why I've felt called to missions, and it's one of the reasons why I've felt such a strong urge to do it, because I lost my dad at a young age, and I just feel that it's very important to let others know that there is still hope, and that God is essentially your father, and he's the one who always watches over you, even though you may not have a physical father here on earth. So now we will get into the video of my most recent trip to El Salvador. We got to El Salvador, we went shopping, like to buy groceries for that week, and then that night we went to eat pupusas, which, if you've never heard of pupusas, it's like basically all they eat in El Salvador. I'm kidding, but they do eat a lot of pupusas in El Salvador. Like, for us in South Louisiana, like, that is their boudin, if you know what I mean. Like, we're obsessed with boudin and gumbo and whatever. Like, pupusas, like, that's their thing. And they are really good. You just have to know where to buy them, because at the restaurant that we went to on Saturday night, they weren't the best. Even the locals said that they weren't the best pupusas. You just have to know where to buy them. And a lot of people had said that the Volcano is the best place to get pupusas. And actually, that Sunday, whenever we went to the church that we were working with, their pupusas were actually very good. So yeah, that Sunday, I didn't know, but they asked us to help lead worship in front of church. So it was me, Caleb, and Savannah. And if you guys don't know, that's another one of my deepest passions. I always say, I know I don't have the best singing voice or whatever, but that is truly one way that I feel connected to God, like he just gets me. So in this picture right here is actually me helping to lead worship, and we only had like, I'd say maybe 30 minutes before to practice. I was nervous, and I don't know if I brought out my full potential with that song, but I know regardless that it's just an amazing experience, because I honestly feel that God has been answering my prayers and my desires through these trips. And for this video, I don't want to put any of the children's faces, just because I don't know if I'm allowed to, and I just don't feel comfortable putting children's faces in my YouTube videos, especially ones that I don't know. So in this picture right here, this was the Monday. This is whenever we first started doing our mission, our actual, like, we had 4 mission days. It was Monday through Thursday, and so this was the first day of the mission day. This right here, we were ministering to kids. We went to one of the poor parts of El Salvador, the ones where they, the government provides the kids with everything they need, like their uniforms and their supplies. It's just a really rough part of the country, and that was one of the parts where we went to minister. We would do like little dramas, like little skits to get the kids entertained in the first place, to get them like listening to us. And then we'd do like another drama that was like based off of like the gospel, like, you know, like a Jesus skit basically. And then we would perform songs, and then we would break up into groups and share the gospel with the kids. This is one of the things that I desperately wish, like even last year, but I desperately wish that I knew Spanish fluently, because it's really hard to talk to kids and like not have them understand you and have a translator translate it for you, which I am very, very, very thankful for the translators. They have no idea like how much it means to us. Like, they are the backbone. They are the reason why we get to communicate with these kids in the first place, because there would be no point of us even going on the mission trip if we had no one to understand us in the first place. On the second day, we went to minister at the School of the Blind, and we also went to a woman's house. Her name is Tia, and over the years she has fostered she's adopted I think 75 kids, and she's been saved since she was 40, and I believe she's now in her 60s or 70s, and she has raised maybe I think 75 kids on her own. She's just amazing. I will insert a picture. This picture right here, we were actually walking to the park to go and like minister to the kids, and I took this picture just to remember this moment and the group that I went with. And I just want to say, we had the best group ever. Like, I went to El Salvador last year, and it was mainly medical missions, which it's not really my forte. I don't really like medical things. That's just me. And but I'm very thankful for those people who do like medical things. It's just not my thing. I just don't like dealing with blood and other people's issues. I loved our team last year too, but I felt just such a strong connection with our team this year, because this year was strictly evangelizing. Okay, so in this picture you can't see the kids' faces at all, which I'm glad I took these pictures, because I wanted to show y'all guys some kind of like reference to what I'm talking about. Those are some of the kids that Tia raises, and they are some of the sweetest kids ever. Like, I love them. I love going to El Salvador, because like you're immediately greeted as if like they've been knowing you for like years. Like, they hug you and they kiss you, and they just, I love them so much. These are some of the kids that Tia is helping raise. This picture right here, actually, if you see the little boy in the blue and like orange striped shirt, he is the one that beat me in tic-tac-toe. And I was just, he beat me at tic-tac-toe, and I was like, what? I felt so played, honestly. I didn't know what to do. I was like, he was probably like 8 or 9 years old, and here I am, like a 21, almost 22-year-old, like getting schooled at tic-tac-toe. And I thought I was doing it good. Like, you see, I was the X's, so I was trying to like hit the corners in the middle, because they always say to do that. But he had a strategy going on, and it was a good strategy. After we did the School of the Blind, and after we ministered to those kids, we went to this ice cream shop. Dude, probably some of the best ice cream I've ever had in my life, honestly. I'll never forget those ice cream cones. Perfecto. Did I say that right? Let me know. And then, as we were making our way back into the main city of San Salvador, we stopped and we saw the volcano with all of the lava rocks, which that was really interesting. Like, I've never seen lava rocks. I mean, I've seen a volcano before because I went to El Salvador last year, but I had never seen lava rocks, and I took some home with me because I wanted to remember that forever. And this is actually a picture I took with one of my friends, Reina. I really hope I said that right. Like, we say it like Reina, and We say it like Reina in the US, but you have to like roll the R and like pronounce the A sound differently, like Reina. I don't know. I really hope I said that right. Let me know. But yeah, she's really sweet, and she actually is a teacher at one of the schools that we went to minister to. We actually went to that school the day after, so it was really cool. Like, I saw her like talking to all the little kids and stuff, like they knew her. It was really cute. And actually, okay, so obviously I'm back on the next day, which was the July 24th. This was a Wednesday. I actually got to share my testimony with like about 300 students, and I'll never forget that moment. Let me see if I have a picture. If I find a picture, I'll insert it here. I'll even insert like a little bit of my video.
Throughout those years, it has not been easy.
Y durante estos años no ha sido fácil.
When I was 13, my dad died.
Cuando yo tenía 13 años, mi papá murió.
It was truly one of the hardest times of my life.
Y ciertamente eso ha sido una de las etapas más duras de mi vida. Sufrí un montón de ansiedad y un montón de depresión.
And about 3 years after he died, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure.
Y 3 años después de que mi papá murió, yo sufría de presión alta.
The doctors say I could have died or had a stroke.
El doctor dijo que podía morir o quedar vegetal.
But I know that life doesn't have to be good to know that God is good.
I had no idea going into the school that they would ask one of us to tell our testimonies, and so it was me and a group of people like from El Salvador that were helping us on the mission trip, and they like kind of gathered us in a circle. They were like, okay, we're gonna do a drama, and one of you has to tell a testimony, and then we're gonna sing. And honestly, I didn't even hesitate. I was like, I want to tell my testimony, because I know for a fact that it may be very uncomfortable to tell my testimony, but I know for a fact that I have the type of testimony I have, so I can share it with other people, because my testimony isn't too unusual. Like, people have lost a parent, they have lost a father, they have lost a mother. I don't know, I just feel like a very strong burden and like a very strong aching to get my testimony out there, because I know that if I have the strength and if I have the courage to actually tell my testimony, that I have no idea the amount of people that it can touch. And so I was just very blessed to be able to share my testimony with those students, because that was the first time ever like publicly sharing my testimony. I feel like was the very first time that I was able to share my testimony and feel that I was actually like stepping into my calling and stepping into like exactly what God has called me to do, which is to tell my story, bring Him the glory in all of it. You know what I'm saying? Actually, after I told my testimony, we then led worship, and then we went back to I don't know if I'm saying it right. It's like a Central MCA church, which is like Missions of Central America, and we were working with them. Their name is Aaron and Herman. I think I said that right. I don't know. Please, God, help me pronounce these names right. But we went to their church, and we had lunch there, and then we played games, which those games were so fun. Like, we played one game where we had to like roll a dice, and we had to land on 6. Like, 6 was the only number that you were able to land on. So if like you rolled, like if you landed on 6, you had to start writing numbers like 1 to 100 as fast as you could. But if the person next to you rolled a 6, like right after you, they took the pen from you and they started writing. So it was just a game of like who could write to 100 the fastest, and I won. Which I'm not going to brag about it, because I did mess up a few of my numbers. Like, you don't realize, like, I stopped thinking whenever I wrote my numbers. Like, I think I wrote 42 twice, and I had to like go over and write 43. It was just, it's a mess, and it was very competitive. Here's a picture of us at the Central Church. We had ministered to 2 schools, and then some of the kids had came over to the church, and we were just like playing with chalk, and then we did more dramas, and we sang more songs, and then we broke up into more groups to share the gospel with them. And this is just one of the parts of our day whenever we were just like playing with the kids, like letting the kids know that we genuinely cared for them, that they were loved, and that we didn't want anything in return from them except for their time, to let us just pour into them and just let them know that hey, like, you may be struggling and you may not have the best life, but we're here to at least give you a little bit of hope. We did supply them with like little salvation bracelets, and all I can do is hope and pray that they still look at that bracelet and they remember the stories that we told them, and they know that they have hope in Jesus. Here, just for fun, I'm going to add in a picture. We call this group the trio, if none of y'all know. But yeah, that's the trio, because last year in El Salvador, it was me and Anne-Marie and Raul, and we were just like really good friends. So I was like, this year we had to take another trio picture because that's the trio. And here, right here, is another really good friend of mine. She actually didn't get to work with us this year, which I was very, very sad. We went to her church, though, so I got to take this picture with her. Her name is Alejandra. She is one of my good friends. She is so sweet. I love her so much, and I was just really sad that we didn't get to work with her, or she didn't get to come and work with us. But she had university, and I understand. On the last day, we went to another church, and we walked around the village in that area, and we ministered to different people, which was very eye-opening, because they don't understand like how much it truly meant to me, and how truly ungrateful I can be at times, because looking at their living conditions and looking at my living conditions, it's just two separate worlds, and they don't seem to know that they have less because it's all that they know. And I'm just saying, if you ever have the desire, if you ever had like the inkling to do a mission trip, I suggest that you go on one, because I know I said this so many times in this one short video. It's so it changed my life in so many different ways, and it's just changed like the course of my life and how I want to live my life. I always thought that I just wanted to live like a successful life and have everything that I wanted, because like that's the life, right? But it's truly not. The life I truly want to live is a life where I'm happy and knowing that I'm pleasing and serving God through it. You know what I'm saying? So on the last day was like our tourism day, which we went to the beach. And here I'm going to insert a picture of what our resort looked like. I don't have a lot of pictures. I just took one picture. I mean, hopefully you guys can see. That is actually the back of the resort. I'll try to find some pictures because my sister took a picture of like the resort. So I'll try to find those pictures and insert them here. But yeah, we went to the beach. We couldn't really spend a lot of time actually in the water because it was very, very, very dangerous, like very unsafe, because they had a lot of rip tides, like rip currents going on right there. Some local Salvadorians stopped us and told us like we're actually in one of the like most dangerous areas on that beach, because where we were there was like a drop off, and that is where like all of the rip currents were happening, and I didn't know that. So yeah, no more water for me for that day. So here, as I'm winding down to end this video, I didn't want to make it too long. I just wanted to give you guys like the meat of like what we did, which was like we evangelized a lot to kids mainly, like went into the schools and we did the dramas and the skits and the singing. Yeah, those are the main parts of the mission trip. But here I will insert pictures of our actual big group with the translators included and the group that actually traveled to El Salvador. These people, let me explain. These people are the best people that I've ever known in my life. All the way to the left, you can see their name is Kevin and Judith, and he is actually the pastor of one of the churches that we went to, and they have the kindest souls ever. And then you can see behind him is Raul, and his brother Josue is in front of him. They are also some people that I met last year, and they are also some of the most kindest people, which I can say that about everyone. So yeah, I'll say that about everyone. So here, as you can see, another one of the translators, she is like behind me. Her name is Dana, which I talked about her before. She is also super sweet. And then in the middle is Michelle. That is my girl, because we have connected over the Jonas Brothers and just like our overall love for the Jonas Brothers. And I just feel that we connect a lot on like those kind of things. And so yeah, she's so sweet. I love her so much. On the side of her is Saul, and I connected with him because we both love John Mayer. He actually knows like a bunch of John Mayer songs on guitar, so that was really fun getting to hear him play those. And then behind him, which is like on the, like, okay, we have Caleb, which has the blonde hair like all the way in the back. We have Baylin, and we have her little sister in front of her. Also the kindest people ever. I don't know what else to say about these people. And then on the side of Caleb and Baylin, we have Ariel, which you can barely see him. Like, his head is like poking up like that if you could see him. He's so funny. He's just like, he's such a joy to be around. And then on the side of him, we have Ali. I love her. I met her, Ale, if I should say it right. I met her last year, and she didn't get to spend too much time with us this year. I'm assuming because she had university or something like that. But yeah, we connected a lot over our same taste in music last year. So yeah, that's my girl. Okay, here I'm going to actually insert the picture of me and my sister with Michelle. And okay, I cannot pronounce your name. I am so sorry. I know her name is like Maria, but like Maria. But she also likes to be called this other name, which is Mafia. I am butchering these names, and I am super sorry. But she is also another one of the girls that I got to know. Like, she was one of our translators, and I just met her this year. And she is also so, like, super sweet, and I'm super glad I got to know her. We actually had, like, other translators, like Aaron and Herman, which I'm really hoping I pronounced that right. They were with us the whole week. Like, he was our driver, and they were also a very vital part of our mission trip, because they got us places. Like, they don't understand like how much we appreciate that, because without them, like, we would have had like no transportation, like no one to drive us, like no one who knew the city to drive us around to get where we needed to go. Because I don't know El Salvador like the people from El Salvador know El Salvador, you know what I'm saying? So it was just very, like, the work that people seem to overlook is the work that is very appreciated. Like, the people who work behind the scenes, they don't know how much we appreciate it, and how much they're vital to getting the job done and sharing the gospel with the people. And there's just so many other people that were on the trip with us that have forever marked my life. And there's another couple that I've met in El Salvador. I've had the privilege of getting to know them last year and hang out more with them this year, but her name is Bex. That's how I say it. And then her boyfriend is named Kevin. They are the sweetest couple ever. Kevin is hilarious, and Rebecca is so sweet. I could tell that she has such a heart for serving, and it's so beautiful, and I'm just so blessed that I get to know them and know that couple, because I love them. They're the sweetest. Miss Linda, I've already talked about her before. I got to know her last year, and oh my gosh, there's not enough words I can say about that woman. Like I said in my Facebook post, like, she'll be the first to tell you that there's nothing special about her, but if you leave your house, if you leave your own country, your kids, your family, and you move to another country to serve its people, that is something remarkable. And that is something so inspiring that I can't explain it. I love her so much. I don't think she'll ever truly know how much she has touched my life. And I'm so sorry if I left any of the translators out. I don't think I did. Let me see. If I did leave any of the translators out, it's because they only spent maybe one day with us on the mission week. And I truly do not mean to leave anyone out. Like, it's gonna hurt me if I did. And I just want to say, I hope you guys don't mind me calling you out in my YouTube videos like this. I just feel like you guys need appreciation, because you don't know how essential translators are. I also just want to give a big ol' thank you, a big ol' shout out to the also to the couple who heads the mission trips, Miss Amy and Mr. Keith. They lead with such grace and compassion, and just everything, it just runs so smoothly, and you don't know like what's going on underneath the surface. Like, if they're very stressed, they don't show it to the team, and I think that's very wise, because it doesn't stress us out, you know what I'm saying? But they are a very special couple, and I am so thankful that they lead these mission trips in El Salvador. This is just a little video of like my mission trip to El Salvador, and I cannot wait to go back next year. I am pretty sure I'm just going to make it like a yearly thing, because I love serving God with those people, because it's like okay, I love the country and I love sharing the gospel and I love just like letting other people know that there is hope in Jesus Christ. But once you get to know the people that you are serving with, it's just so hard to like go like another year without seeing them. It's just like, I wish I could be with those people every day. That's honestly how I feel about them. Anyway, to sum up this video, I really hope I gave you guys a good description of what my week was like in El Salvador. I know I didn't go too much into detail, but I didn't want this video to be super long, so I really hope I touched on the vital parts of like exactly what we did. Like, we did a whole bunch of other things, like we visited the volcano, we hiked up the volcano, which it was like a path, like we didn't have like a rocky path, like we weren't actually hiking up the volcano, if you know what I mean. But we did that, and we saw like a huge crater, which I'll try to insert a picture, but pictures don't do it justice at all. Like, you literally have to be there to see it. I feel like a picture cannot capture like the depth perception of like exactly what you're looking at, if you know what I'm saying. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope all of my friends from El Salvador are watching this. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a blessed day, whatever time you're watching this, morning, noon, night. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment to help me out. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you guys again in my next video. Bye, guys. I'm trying to do some thumbnails, but I don't know if they're working.